Welcome back to the YouTube channel, Where is Kofie? Where we ask the super not important question, where is Kofie? And bonjour, I am in Paris, and it's my job to find the coolest sports jersey possible. So I know there's an NBA store around here, there's some sports vintage stores, so let's get it cracking. So an interesting tidbit today is that it might rain, and if it does, I'm not prepared. This camera is not waterproof. I do have a backup camera, so we shall see. So we're gonna go on our way to the NBA store, and there's a lot of things that caught my eye, so we'll see if I can walk around and find those things. But the main thing here is that not all vintage, I mean, this is true everywhere, not all vintage stores have sports gear, so you have to honestly really be specific and intentional about looking for sports vintage gear. So that's going to be an important thing as well. Now, while we walk, I also want to answer the question was what makes a cool sports jersey for me. For me, a cool sports jersey comes down to how unique it is, how rare it is, but also how priced it is. Like, is it like super expensive or is it like a real bargain? I think there's true joy in finding a jersey that like looks really cool. You can only get it one place, but it's also priced reasonably. I think that's a really big deal. I basically have like a 19-minute walk to keep going. I feel the rain coming on. Might have to go to the waterproof camera. Oh, hippie market? Maybe they have something in here. Maybe they have something in here for me. Okay, and it looks like I've actually scored, honestly. These sports, oh, okay. Sometimes stuff looks like, whoa, wait. Summer USA games? Summer USA games, what is that? This is wait, an Atlanta 1996 starter? Whoa, we might be starting off hot. How much is this? $89 euro for a Summer USA game. I know we talked about jerseys, but this is so cool. Wait a second, how much? It's a small? All right, one thing about me is that there are jerseys here. There's an NC State Wolfpack. As someone that's from North Carolina, that looks really cool. Extra large too. Okay, so there's some nice jackets and some nice jerseys. We're starting off hot. There's a Phillies World Series champions. What year is that from? I'm not sure. Okay, for jerseys here, Cooperstown, plus soccer stuff. Also, soccer's my weakest sport, so sometimes I don't know if the jersey's iconic or not. I really can't tell. Also, it just started raining. Really? Oh, Giants jersey. This is Victor Cruz. You got a Victor Cruz jersey in here. Wow. Okay, Victor Cruz, €59. Okay, Indiana Pacers, Reggie Miller's here. Okay, Vince Carter. Dude, a Vince Carter jersey, purple Raptors for €59. A lot of jerseys, a lot of throwback jerseys, especially in the States. They go for like $80 up to like $120, depending on how rare it is. We're starting off good. Oh, dang. I wish that this Olympic Summer USA games. Oh, it even has the Atlanta. Oh, dude. Also, it just started raining. Maybe I'll try this on. It's a small. Yeah, let's try it on. So the Olympic starter jacket is too small for me, unfortunately. But I did find something cool. Here is an Baltimore Orioles locker line jacket, €46. I think I'm going to have to get it for one because I don't really have that many black jackets, and this one's very subtle in terms of the logo. Second thing is, it's raining outside, and I left my jacket in the hotel room. I need something to leave the store. So we're going to get this for $46. All right, so I honestly think that that's the best first start you can honestly get. I got a jacket for the rain, and I got a jacket under €50. Usually when you get a jacket of this kind, anything under $70 for me, I'm always like, ooh, I should just get it to get it. Because I think that's really good value for a jacket of this caliber. And I was not expecting to see Major League Baseball gear out here, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, the Orioles have a great colorway. Like, who can disagree with that? So let's try to see our next store and see if we can get something that's just as cool. Ooh, this store looks promising. It's called Friperie. Also, that's like a retro old Western also. That's like 2003. All right, looks like we have a bunch of football jerseys for €25. But I did see another rack of jerseys I want to show you guys. So what I've seen so far here, and I think that Japan and Korea have this as well, is that there's a genre of jacket that just has like logos of all these teams. I find it very fascinating. I just don't like, there's a whole subsect of this. I think that as a concept, if there was just like one logo of all these teams, like maybe there's like a Denver Nuggets logo, it's like the history of the Nuggets logo again. But if it's like the entire thing, whoa, what? Marvin the Martian, like this is like a NASCAR racing jacket. How much is this? This has to be like over €80. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. I think it says 89. I think everything on the rack says 89. That's a good price. That's a solid price for this. That's really nice. I stumbled upon a rack of baseball jerseys and they're €20. That's what it says here. So let's see what we can find here. Clippers. Is there a baseball team called the Clippers? That's interesting. Let's see here. Oh, there's some minor league jerseys that David Wright, Mets, Mike Trout. Okay, so the thing about this is that this is €20, but this is pretty stained. That's probably the trade-off of some of these. Totally understand that. If it's a sleeveless Rockies jersey, whoa, what? Look at this. A sleeveless Colorado Rockies, Todd Helton. So here's the thing. It's bizarre. It's really interesting. I'm just trying to figure out where I would wear this. I think this is a very fascinating crossover. I'm on the fence about this, but this is really fascinating. It's a jersey. It's not like it's been cut off. It's not like it's been like the sleeves have been cut off. This is how it was presented. €20. Huh. I would buy the Todd Helton, but I'm never gonna wear that because I don't wear sleeveless jerseys out anyway. I gotta be like cost efficient here. I'll buy a jersey with like a small stain on it to think I can like take care of it or get rid of it. But if it's like such a big stain, if I circle back in the Todd Helton sleeveless, because you ever go to a vintage store and you're like, I have time. No one else is gonna buy this but me, right? That's what I feel like with the Todd Helton jersey. So, all right, moving on. A sleeveless Todd Helton jersey at the function is crazy. You know, I have no places to wear that. Where am I have nowhere to wear that to. So I'm still headed to the NBA store for the time being. I think I'm going the right direction. And I don't expect the NBA store to have like really discounted anything. You know, it's like a brand new jersey kind of store where it's like everything's gonna be like $100, $120. So, dude, France is beautiful, bro. With the architecture and just all of this, it's just really awesome to look at, take in, and enjoy. Like, all this is really nice. Like, it's so cool. All right, I've made it to a Paris NBA store. It looks like they have multiple levels. I'm intrigued to see what they have for me. All right, so starting off here, we have Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, Paul Curry, and of course, Wembanyama. Now let's look at some of the jerseys that are not hung up. Oh, whoa. Hawks Trae Young. Can I get a discount on this? €134. I hope they have a clearance rack, man. Garshawn Yabusele. We have Bulls Yabusele. He is French. He played for the French team, so this totally tracks. How much is this one? Okay, €125. Interesting. I'm just going to see what Ricochet for sure. Yeah, this totally tracks. Of course, you got LeBron, obviously. Oh, Banchero is Italian, but yeah. I really want to see what the clearance rack looks like. Okay, so Wembanyama jersey, this still looks out. 115. Oh, this is the Spurs alternate. That makes a lot of sense. All right, this is a pretty cool wall right here that they have. All right, so they have the Warriors. Like, this is the 90s Warriors, like Run TMC. Right next to that's a Rudy Gobert. I think this is when the game played. This is when the game played in France. Yeah, it's just the Paris game 2020. I think Detroit played in this. I don't remember. Eric Bledsoe. Don't think even. Wow, what year was that? You get back up here, you see Joakim Noah. course, you have Michael Jordan here, Boris Diaw, respect. And then the Lakers. All right, I'm on the basement level, which is like women, kids, and accessories. So we see some Jordan gear here. There's this Jordan fanny pack right here, but I already have enough of these. I cannot. Also, I don't own anything Jordan. Tracy McGrady. Oh yeah, we're in some classic jerseys here. Yeah, that's the Lakers, Kobe, Shaq. This is an iconic purple and yellow for them. It's hard to explain that. It's like just different from this, if that makes sense. Like these two are just too different. I can tell them apart easily, obviously. Anyone can. I wonder how much this is. 120 euros. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of Iverson merch here. I wonder if there's like a Allen Iverson, was he like really beloved in France thing? But I'm seeing a lot of Iverson amongst all the legends, so very interested in seeing where that goes. Like here's an Iverson Slam magazine cover, and then right over here you have the Allen Iverson like retro Sixers jersey, and then you have like every Iverson iteration of jersey for the Sixers is here. I wonder if there's something to do with that. I wonder if there's something behind that. And I know that Allen Iverson was like, yeah, iconic and all that, but it's interesting. It's Allen Iverson, Vince Carter here a lot too. So that's fascinating. Heck yeah. Then you got Larry Johnson. This is like good stuff, man. Iverson mannequin, of course. More Iverson here. Vince Carter. Get Iverson and Tony Parker up here. NBA Crocs collaboration. All right, so we have more cool stuff here. This is an NBA logo made out of Crocs. I think there's an NBA Crocs partnership. But then, of course, you have more photos commemorating French greats. You got Boris Diaw, of course. You got Gobert. You got the Raymond Felton New York Knicks up here. Then you have the Kevin Love, Michael Beasley, Sebastian Telfair, Minnesota Timberwolves, Chicago Bulls, of course. Charlotte Hornets are up here. I wonder who started the trend of NBA teams just like taking their photo in front of the Eiffel Tower. I wonder who started all that. Now we're at the Hardwood Classics floor. Well, the floor said Hardwood Classics, but let's see. You got some Caitlin Clark here. You got Chicago Sky Angel Reese. I mean, at the time of this video, she got traded to the Atlanta Dream, of course. Had some cool WNBA. You got Asia Wilson, obviously. Nice collection of WNBA players. So as I make this video, the Spurs just beat the Thunder to make the NBA Finals. So I'm currently in Paris during the NBA Finals, about to start against the Knicks, which is kind of crazy timing. Didn't plan it that way. So here we have a signed Michael Jordan basketball, signed Dirk autograph, and you have a signed photograph of Victor Wembanyama. So they got some cool artifacts here. And of course, Wemby, you know, so. Okay, so we have a couple of Wilson basketballs here. We got Sixers, Pistons, Clippers, I think. A lot of Detroit Pistons Wilson basketballs here. Yeah, so overall, really cool NBA store. No Killian Hayes, though. No Killian Hayes. I wish there was. I would buy a Killian Hayes Detroit Pistons jersey right now. There's also a clearance rack, like a small clearance rack. The stuff that's on sale, but it's like Kevin Durant jerseys because it's like he switches teams so much. Like that's par for the course. Really, overall, dope store. I like when an NBA store. I mean, I've only been at NBA stores in 2 countries, but I like about this NBA store, the Paris NBA store, that they show homage to their French player that have made it to the league. And I think that's really awesome. And of course, they can't show love to every French player. I mean, they could, but it's really cool to see some of the French players get the love that they get. I want something that says, I was at the Paris NBA store. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so I ended up changing my mind and not getting something at the NBA store because nothing really spoke out that was like, oh, I got it in the Paris NBA store. And I'm saving my Wembanyama jersey that I do buy on this trip to be like a French national team Wembanyama jersey instead. So overall, there's a lot of cool things in there. There's a lot of cool homage to French players, past and present, in the NBA. And I think overall is really cool. Prices were pretty much the same as any NBA store. Like, there's not really that much of a change in the price no matter what. So I was expecting that. Next up, we're going to a place called American Vintage. Now, the reason why I'm going to that is because there's one in Los Angeles, and I'm curious to see if it's the same thing. It's about a 10-minute walk, so we're heading there next. Let's go. Already looks a lot different. Wasn't a vintage store. I should have walked in, and it was like boutique. I think it's boutique. That's the word for it. But there was absolutely no vintage store stuff there, so I saved y'all the suspense of that. Yeah. So yeah, it feels like I'm in the part of a town right now where it has like a lot of art galleries, a lot of like high quality stuff, you know? And the thrift shops that I went into, they had sports stuff, but there aren't, you know how America has some stores that are dedicated to like sports vintage and stuff like that? Like let's say like a Mr. Throwback in NYC and stuff like that. I saw one place on Google Maps near me, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there aren't sports vintage shops in France. That's not what I'm saying, don't get me wrong. That's just the route I took today, right? This city is way bigger than me. It's so much cool stuff to do, and I'm not even going to begin to scratch the surface, right? But that's what's so exciting about it. Like, I can go sports vintage shopping somewhere else in Paris and maybe find all this other stuff. It's the ongoing mystery. I've been in Paris for about 5 to 6 days. Haven't really seen any billboards of French athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give an example. When I was in Japan, Shohei Ohtani was in like every endorsement deal possible. Like, we saw him so much. But here we haven't seen a Wembanyama ad anywhere. You know, I feel like the only acknowledgement of the NBA French players was in that NBA store currently. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's just interesting and fascinating to like track. All right, so I see this image store, Soné Image, vintage store. I'm gonna check it out. Looks like they have some cool jerseys in there. I love a good hockey jersey. So let's check this out. All right, so here we have Chris Carter, NFL 45. It's not a bad deal. Ooh, New Jersey Devils, blank. There's a Sidney Crosby jersey, of course. This looks like a really old version of it. 25 euros, not bad. They're playing A$AP Rocky. I love A$AP Rocky. A lot of good soccer jerseys here. The backs are often blank, but there's a really nice Michigan Wolverines leather jacket up top, but I don't want to have them take it down because I know it's going to be super expensive. So there's no way, but that's like the nicest thing I've seen here so far. That Michigan leather jacket was 325 euros, which fair. That looks like it came from like the 50s or even the 60s, right? But again, if I'm paying that much for that kind of jacket, I'm wearing that every day. Like without fail, I'm wearing that every day. Like it would be hard to justify that purchase as not a Michigan fan in the slightest. You know what I'm saying? That might be the coolest thing I've seen here so far in terms of just like, it's old, it's rare, like it's really rare. That was a really old, like you could see the color fade off of the jacket. You know, you could see the color fade off of it. If you're from France or Paris and are watching this video, please let me know so the next time I can learn. As someone that's just a traveler, I always want to learn more about these things because I'm finding more vintage stores just on the ground than I did entering it into a search engine. I'm being so for real right now. All right, for my next stop, I'm at a place called Retro. Okay, I got some jerseys here. Oh, Flyers? Oh, it's like a spot. Oh, they got a cheap room? Hell yeah. Second interesting basketball jersey of the day. It's a Detroit Lions basketball jersey. Again, this is by design. I wish that there was a number behind here, or a name behind here, sorry. It's really fascinating that I saw two basketball jerseys of Big Four teams that weren't NBA. Like, we got the Todd Helton basketball jersey, and then the Detroit Lions. I'm trying to figure out if that was a thing. If that was a thing back then and I missed it, maybe it was a thing that happened in Europe. I'm going to probably look into this and see if I can figure out anything about this. But again, I think that I did a good job. I went to 5 or so vintage stores, went to the NBA store, and I think that I got a pretty good haul today. I only got one thing, but this Orioles jacket I really do like, and I love that I can have like a black jacket. It's a really subtle Orioles. Like, I don't think there's anything on the back. So it's a really subtle jacket. It's nice. But that'll wrap up my video for today. Hopefully you guys can see that I'm trying to make an effort to become more comfortable with vlogs and filming in person. It's one of the things that, even though I've been a content creator for like 7 to 8 years, I always feel like I've always felt a little weird, like just filming around people, and people are like, what's he doing? What's he doing over there? I had a couple of people today, after I filmed, they started to ask me like, what camera was this? And yeah, it's like a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is one of my favorite cameras to vlog with because it feels like I don't have to use my phone, and then I have a magnetic mount on the end of it, which allows me to attach it on any magnetic surface. So it kind of just serves as its own tripod. So it's like my favorite thing to travel with. I rarely leave home without it. But you never know what's going to be a cool thing to catch on film. Again, thank you guys for watching the end of the video. Thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Thank you to my Nebula supporters out there. You guys rock. You guys allow me to make videos like this day in, day out. I'll see you guys next time.